Hello and welcome. Today we'll be going over the different investment vehicles for retirement. I'm Molly, an event planner at SoFi, and I'm excited to introduce and chat with certified financial planner and senior manager of our financial planning team at SoFi, Brian Walsh. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So let's start off. What is an IRA?
Yeah, great question. So an IRA is an individual retirement account. And at a high level, when you think about an IRA, it is a tax advantage vehicle designed to help you save for retirement. So the tax advantage part is important because it allows your money to grow a little bit more efficiently, especially over a long period of time. But the retirement part is also very important too, because there's going to be restrictions on when you can access that money, since it is designed to be used primarily for saving for retirement.
Okay, that's a really helpful baseline. Now can you help us break down a 401k?
Yeah, so a 401k is probably one of the more common vehicles that people use when it comes to saving for retirement. A 401k is going to be available through work. So essentially your employer is going to choose whether or not to make a 401k available to all the employees. Generally speaking, the most popular plan that employers provide is a 401k. So again, it's designed to be used for retirement, and it also provides tax advantages. And both of those things can be extremely helpful both in the short term as well as in the long term when it comes to retirement saving.
That makes a lot of sense. Can you now explain the differences between a traditional and Roth IRA and 401k?
Yeah, definitely. This is probably one of the more common questions that we get from members when we're talking about retirement savings vehicles. And at a high level, I think it kind of breaks down to, do you want to pay now or do you want to pay later when it comes to taxes? At the end of the day, you're always going to pay taxes. So we'll start with the traditional option and then we'll move on to the Roth option. So with the traditional option, let's say a 401k in this example, when you make contributions to it, you can actually save money on your taxes now. Then that money is going to grow without paying any taxes. When you take that money out, let's say 30, 40 years from now, then you're going to pay taxes on all of the money that you take out. So essentially you'll be paying your taxes later. On the flip side, with a Roth option, let's say in this example, a Roth IRA, you're going to pay taxes on your money, and then you're going to put after-tax money into the Roth IRA. That money is going to grow without paying any taxes, but when you take it out, ideally that money grew quite a bit, you're not going to pay any taxes on the withdrawal. Ideally, you would like to have a mixture of different types of accounts, so that way you could best plan your retirement income strategy down the road.
Okay, that's really helpful. When we attempt to max these accounts out, should we be doing so by depositing a lump sum, or should we spread that out over time?
Yeah, this is another great question. You know, at a high level, my viewpoint is you should invest money when you have it. Generally speaking, trying to time the market and figuring out when to put money in there is not the best way for people to approach saving or investing for the future. The market's going to go up, it's going to go down. It is impossible to time the market. So if you have a lump sum right now of money that you could put away towards the future, put it towards the future. If you don't have a lump sum, but you can maybe spare an extra 50, 100, 200 bucks a month towards retirement, then when that becomes available, put that towards the future. The moral of the story is, when you have money to save, you save it rather than trying to time the market over the long term.
That's really helpful information. Okay, so let's say I have 10% of my income to contribute to retirement. Should I put all 10% in a 401k, or should I put 6 to 7% in a 401k and put the rest in a taxable investing account?
Yeah, great question. And you know, I think unfortunately as a financial planner, a lot of my answers are, hey, it depends. And I think the first thing it depends on is if you have access to an employer match within your 401k. Many people have access to an employer match, and that is extremely valuable. So if you do have an employer match, one of the first things that you should think about doing is taking full advantage of that, because it's essentially free money. Then above and beyond that, you want to take advantage of the rest of the contributions you can make to a 401k, and potentially a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, depending on what you're eligible for. Ideally, you'll have a mixture of different types of accounts. Let's say Roth contributions and traditional contributions, so that way you can pick and choose in retirement, and you'll thank yourself down the road because you have that added flexibility to optimize your taxes and your overall distribution strategy in 30, 40, or 50 years.
Brian, as usual, this has been immensely helpful. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to all of our SoFi members who are watching. We hope to see you all back at another financial fireside chat soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.